Yo, 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 Big Cash back up in here. Y'all get up in here. Get up in here. You are not going to want to click off this video. Our brother, XXXTentacion, has risen from the grave. He's going to get revenge on Drake. This is all alleged. YouTube, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just be saying stuff to entertain people. For entertainment purposes only. Drake has overstepped his boundaries. He has went against the devil himself. But the devil has said, no. No. We thought the case with XXXTentacion was over. But all of a sudden, the murderers of XXX has come out to file an appeal. Now, where do they get this backing from? This was just brought to us 19 hours ago. And shout out to Showface News. He's the first one I seen with it. They have came out to file an appeal on the XXX murder case. The ones that did it. We thought it was over. We thought it was over. No. Drake done went against the bigwigs. I knew it. Y'all know I do not like holding y'all. I will leave a link in the description. Without further ado, let's get it.
Reveal to the court the value you place on the human life that was taken.
One of the men convicted in the 2018 murder of rapper XXXTentacion is now appealing his conviction, and his legal team is focusing a lot of their attention on a major celebrity, Drake. What?
Why they focus on Drake all of a sudden after all this time? All this time. Why? As soon as you file a lawsuit against UMG, get the paperwork ready or prep it, however you want to put it, he's going against the devil. Now, everybody know that when you're in the music industry, when you're in entertainment, that these people have something on you. They probably got some footage of you. They probably got you out of some illegal troubles that you couldn't get yourself out of. And they say, yeah, okay. Let this Negro act up. Just let him act up. Just oh, you want to act up? Okay. Bring up that XXXTentacion thing back up. Yeah, bring that up. Yeah, let's bring that. Let's see. We gonna see. You do not play with your baby daddy, Lucian Grange, Mr. Drake. Mr. Swimming Cap. Mr. Duck Lips. Mr. Max Weedy. Max Weed. Your ass going down, boy. The industry about to get raided too. It's just a matter of time. I don't care where you move to. Let's get it, y'all. This is you do not want to click off this video. I'm telling you. This is breaking news. Let's get it.
We're going to explain the connections and the arguments as we sit down with Mauricio Padilla, the attorney for the convicted killer, Dedrick Devon Williams. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Diedrich Devon Williams, who's behind bars for life for murdering rapper XXXTentacion, is now appealing his case, his conviction, his sentence on the grounds that he did not receive a fair trial. And this is in part due to what his attorneys say is the exclusion of evidence that pointed the finger or maybe pointed the finger at other people. And one of those people whose name has come up is rapper Drake. So,
Drake? Not Drake. All of a sudden? Now this, hey, look. Now this is so, if you didn't ever see no back-to-back shit a day in your life, this is what you call back-to-back. You said you was gonna sue who? What? You was gonna sue who? What? You said you was gonna sue who? Boo boo? Bruh, if y'all can't put down, if y'all can't pick up what I'm putting down, you better.
I want to quickly get you up to speed on this case before we get into these new allegations, these new arguments. Maybe they're not necessarily new if you break down this case. So last year, 3 men, including Williams, were convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the 2018 killing of the star rapper. And to be more precise, they were convicted of first-degree murder and armed robbery in connection with the shooting death of the 20-year-old artist whose legal name was Jose Onforay. Now, the jury deliberated a lot. They deliberated for a little more than 7 days before returning a guilty verdict. This was for Michael Boatwright, Diedrich Williams, and Trayvon Newsom. Now, this murder occurred on June 18th, 2018.
Y'all like. This is very important right here. Y'all please like. This is very important. The drizzle is going down, y'all.
Outside of Riva Motorsports, it's a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach. It's a suburb of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And XXXTentacion had just withdrawn $50,000 in cash from a bank. He was leaving the store with a friend when his BMW was blocked by an SUV. In fact, surveillance footage from the scene actually captures this shocking moment as 2 masked gunmen, later identified as Boatwright and Newsom, emerged from the vehicle, confronted the rapper at his driver's side window. There is a brief but very violent exchange with one of the men shooting XXX repeatedly. Afterwards, they snatch a Louis Vuitton bag containing the cash that the rapper had just withdrawn, and they speed away in the SUV.
Wait. All of Drake's lyrics are coming back to surface. Y'all remember those lyrics that he said, implying that he knows about what happened to XXX after he done stole XXX style, stole his lyrics, stole his cadence. XXX said, I ain't letting you get away with that, bro. I ain't letting you get away with that over my dead body.
Williams was accused of being the driver of that SUV. And the friend, by the way, who was with XXXTentacion during that attack wasn't injured, but he witnessed the murder. And the jury's deliberation was lengthy, but ultimately they concluded that the evidence presented by the prosecution was sufficient. It was beyond a reasonable doubt, enough to convict all 3 defendants. And that evidence included the surveillance footage. It included cell phone videos of the defendants flashing cash right after the shooting. It included incriminating text messages from Boatwright, including one right after the shooting saying, tell my brother I got money for the new phone. And then just minutes after that, sending in a separate text message a news article about XXX getting shot. And I also have to mention the key testimony of the trio's accomplice, Richard Allen, who claimed that he was a part of this robbery and he implicated the defendants. He pled guilty.
This is the one who told on everybody.
To second-degree murder for his role in this killing. Hey, so before we jump into this story, I have something I gotta tell you about. I host and executive produce a show called...
Man, let's get to Drake, man. We about to get to Drake. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all, let's get that.
Am I gonna sit here and tell you that Drake was holding a gun or Drake? But
no,
the facts as they are stated by X's own mother is that she knew about the beef with Drake and with Migos. She knew about the violence between Migos and her son, where there was a violent episode. She knew about 600 Breezy, which is a known admitted gang member from Chicago, going to South Florida and posting on social media saying that he's blicked up, which means that I have a gun, and she was concerned about it. She testified in the depot that she discussed it with her son. She testified that the reason that she wanted additional security with him the day he died was because of this beef with Migos and everything that we're discussing. So it was relevant. And for many months during the trial, January, February, even February 7th of 2023, the judge is agreeing with me. Okay. Now there comes a moment and a hearing. He goes ahead and Drake hires after the judge enters a rule to show cause, basically saying a purge date. You have to appear for depo on this day, or I'm going to do a writ of bodily attachment. He then goes and hires Brad Cohen, a friend of the show, friend of mine as well, an excellent attorney. And Brad files several motions, motion to quash the subpoena.
A friend of his. See, what people fail to realize is that when you get in trouble and you hire this person and you think that person is all about you and they just your friend, no, it don't work like that. They just want that moolah, baby. Oh, listen, they just want that moolah, baby. They are all friends. They are all friends. One time I had to get a lawyer. It was for some speeding stuff. And the lawyer, she said, when is your court date? I said, on this day. She said, nah, we gonna get it on this day because I know this judge. This judge will let you get off. That judge you got on your day, I don't know them. I'm telling you, these people are friends with each other. Stay out of the streets. Stop doing nonsense in the street. Get out. These people are friends. Let's get it.
And he files a motion for protective order. We go back and forth, and the judge says, and the first time that Brad shows up to court, he says, you know what? I'm gonna quash the rule to show cause. He's hired counsel. You guys can communicate and figure out when this step was going to happen. Okay. So we go back and forth. We can't agree to it for various reasons. And I'm not going to get into settlement negotiations
Sure.
on the show, but we can't agree. We go into court February 24th, I believe, on his motions. At that time, James Beard, which is the process server that served Drake, appeared as a witness. And I wanted to show video that he took of the actual attempted service, where it shows Drake's bodyguards or the people that are in front of his house refusing to cooperate. It showed
and y'all bet not be falling for them duck lips neither. I'm not playing. I see you in the back. You falling for them duck lips. You bet. Who else back there? You better not be falling for them damn duck lips.
one of Drake's employees kicking the subpoena down the road that leads to his mansion. And the judge didn't allow me to show that. Despite not allowing me to.
Y'all heard that? The judge didn't allow him to show certain things about Drake. Why wouldn't the judge allow that? Because the judge is friends. Listen, they all friends. They all friends. Whoever got the most money, whoever got the biggest bag, is most likely to get favored. Except for Diddy. Let's get it.
To put forth that evidence, the judge did a 180 from telling me to figure it out, coordinate it, take the depot, did a 180, told me, why are you involving him? Granted the motion for for protective order, granted the motion to quash my subpoena, allowed Mr. Cohen to argue California law without having a California expert there.
Look, I want y'all to see the connection. This is who Drake sent allegedly. I think that's what they said, because I be thinking so much. But look, let me just show you how it trickled down. He cool with him. He makes the ultimate decision. Now, Who is he tied to? I'm telling you, it all trickles down. These people got money. Okay, that's Drake is my artist. Okay, so let's send one of our top lawyers. We're gonna send one of our top lawyers. Drake don't even have to show up. Nah. Send him. Okay, you go out there, handle that. Boom, Drake, you keep on making us some money. Oh, you want to sue us? Oh, you want to sue us? You know what? Hey, lawyer, go wake that case back up. Go do that. Boop, boop, boop. Bro, Drake's swimming cap, that damn man unit that got so tight on his head, he forgot. He forgot.
And basically, kind of chastised me about, why are you bringing them into it? And as a matter of fact, we had taken the deposition of one of X's relatives regarding this beef, and she denied it. And the court said in open court, even his relative said that it didn't exist. And I said, yeah, well, she's lying because the whole world knows about this beef. So for her to sit here and say that she didn't know about it it's on her credibility. So despite all of this, he does a 180. He not only grants the motion for protective order, basically saying that I can now serve him again.
Okay.
And it quashes the subpoena, but the state attorney, sensing there's blood in the water, says, Judge, I'm going to renew my motion to strike all his witnesses. Okay? Or tennis, no notice. And he says, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to strike Mr. Graham. So he struck in the middle of the trial. He struck Drake from my witness list, which is completely inappropriate, considering the history of the case.
Talk to me real quick about why you think the judge did this, because in the appellate brief, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is an accusation that the court might have been biased because of Drake's celebrity status. Correct me if that allegation is wrong. And in your opinion, why do you believe the court ultimately wouldn't allow the deposition of Drake?
I'll say that Judge Usong was a complete gentleman to me, and it was a pleasure to try the case in front of him. I do think that he made various reversible errors. And I think from the beginning, he made a lot of calls that were unconstitutional, not legal, this being one of them. I don't want to speculate as to why.
Not legal. Not legal. That lets you know that they do what they want to do. So don't bring your tail up in court talking about, oh, they can't do that. Don't go do something in the streets. Go to your family, show them your paperwork, whatever you got, and be like, oh, could they? No, they can't do that. They not supposed to do that. You can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. So stop complaining and just stop committing crimes. That's all you got to do. Just stop committing crimes. You can't get over on these people. You cannot get over on these people. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Let's get it.
But when you're dealing with someone like Drake, which he's not a celebrity, he's a super celebrity. He's like in the stratosphere of fame. So when a judge does a 180 like that, I'll let the viewers or other people figure out why they think that it happened. But I'm not gonna speculate as to why it happened. But
no, I get that. I get that. I do want to ask you about this because this is another part of the appeal. And that is with respect to the testimony of this gang expert, which was excluded in a pretrial hearing. And the defense, my understanding, wanted to call Jesse De La Cruz, who they had claimed, discovered visual evidence that Drake could have had ties to the same organization as a co-defendant in this case, Robert Allen. And I believe the brief states, Dr. Cruz's research revealed photos of Mr. Graham throwing the same gang signs as Allen. And Allen is that accomplice who I mentioned before who testified again.
Drake throwing gang signs? What? Let me hear more.
Against his co-defendants. But Cruz also revealed that people who knew Drake were allegedly seen in XXXTentacion's neighborhood threatening him before he died. The brief reads, social media posts showed these same known Graham associates were seen in Onfroy's neighborhood threatening him just prior to the murder. And then they say even more revealing is this connection that Cruz made to Drake's song lyrics, because shortly after XXX was killed, the brief writes, Mr. Graham released a song entitled Triple X with suspicious lyrics. SMS Triple X, that's the only time I shot below the neck. And Dr. Cruz found another connection between the murder and Drake's lyrics in the song I'm Upset. The song I'm Upset contains lyrics regarding Louis bags for body bags.
Body bags.
The implication there.
These people seeing the money that Young Thug thing made, that Young Thug trial made, they said, okay, this is our new rap industry. The rap industry, the labels ain't making no money. Okay, we're going to get these dudes to commit some crimes through the radio waves, through the frequencies. We're going to pat it in their brains. Okay, get them to orchestrate some stuff. Have them thinking that they run stuff. We're going to make them think they run. We're going to give them a couple million, a little $1 million deal or something. Have them thinking they run stuff, and we're going to record it all. And then we're going to bring them to the big house and when they act up.
There being that Drake was referencing murder. But ultimately, Cruz was completely excluded from the trial, and the jury did not hear any of his findings. Mauricio, I have that right. And can you emphasize that a little bit more? Can you explain that a little bit more? Yes.
Okay. So Dr. De La Cruz did proffer to the court everything that you've stated regarding the song lyrics, the fact that Drake was throwing gang signs that were the same gang signs that Allen was throwing up in different social media posts. The court strikes Dr. De La Cruz, which is a known gang expert and well known in his field, has testified over 150 times in trials. They allowed the state to put their own gang expert, Detective Polo, which really bolstered a lot of what Dr. De La Cruz said regarding the necessity to bring out this testimony. I don't believe that based on Daubert, which is the case that we look at when analyzing whether an expert if it's appropriate for an expert to testify, I don't believe that was a legal call. I think it was error for him to do that and not allow us to put forth that testimony. And we put up pictures of Drake with Lil Wayne throwing up a Bloods gang sign and other.
They throwing up the Blood gang sign? About time Drake go and try to renegotiate some stuff with UMG. Your deal is gonna be worth $10, boy. Wordy's bond.
Evidence that Drake is out there flaunting gang ties. We put forth evidence of Hassan Ali, which is top 5 out there openly claiming on
top 5. Yeah, talk about top 5
on social media and video that he's Drake's shooter. And part of the theory of defense is to show, listen,
we know about that. Yo, they are looking at these people. They are looking. Y'all remember when, oh my God. Bro, it's all coming into play. It's all coming into play. Top 5 was running his mouth and they looking at all the videos about him. Remember when Top 5 was like, yeah, I'm going to do this to Kendrick. If I ever see Kendrick, I'm going to do this. If he ever step in Canada, I'm going to do this. They looking at all of that. They looking at all of that. They looking at all of that. Let's get it.
Listen, even though these people are entertainers, okay, there's a gang-related portion of it. There's a gang-related side to it. And X's own mother testified that she knew about this, that she knew about when 600 Breezy traveled from wherever he was, whether it's Chicago to South Florida. She knew about it. Right. She talked to him about it. Mm-hmm. So this case had more than ample evidence and ample reason to involve a gang expert.
To be clear, though, you were allowed to argue that someone else could have been responsible for this killing because you cross-examined Allen on cross-examination, suggesting that he had this link to Drake. But my understanding is you're arguing now that the trial court had put limits on your cross-examination of Allen, that violated your client's rights. Am I misunderstanding that?
No, you're 100% correct. And they did it not only with Allen, but they did it all throughout the trial. Okay. With Allen admitted that his father, known drug dealer, known firearms dealer, as the brief states, produced at least one of the guns that was used in this. When I asked him about his father and ties to Toronto and drug dealing, the state objected, and the judge didn't allow that question. So it was a constant battle for me to try and and basically do my job and show where reasonable doubt existed. With Allen, with Detective Curcio, the problem here is also is that the state attorney, on direct of the lead of Detective Curcio, which was the lead.
Boy, look at that. Boy. Boy, you look like a thumb. Your man look like a thumb. Your man look like a straight thumb. Word, he's bond, boy.
Lead detective in the case, she asked, do you have any information that Drake was involved in this? And that was before the court struck him. So whatever the reasons may have existed, the moment that state attorney opens up their mouth and says that, now he's really at issue, because now
you're opening the door. You're opening the door to that coming in.
Yes. And not only was it an issue of her mentioning it with Detective Curcio, but she asked him, you actually were able to verify whether or not Drake was in South Florida at the time. So in cross-examination, I asked, why would you have to verify if he was in South Florida? Why? Because he's a person of interest. And then I had to further ask, well, what did you do to, and I'm paraphrasing, what did you do to figure out whether he was in South Florida? He says, oh, my partner checked social media. So then I said, okay, so in a homicide case, the best that Broward Sheriff's Office has for a jury is to peep his Instagram. So it was basically breaking down the poor job that BSO did in their investigation and the tunnel vision that they had, and the fact that none of this was in the report. So you felt it important enough to check and verify whether or not he was in South Florida, but you never memorialized it in your report, and I'm not allowed to ask about it.
Well, did he also testified, Detective Curcio, that he learned that Onfroy, XXX, had been attacked by members of Migos, right? Migos is the rap group that's associated with Drake. Was that came in, and again, you weren't able to expand upon that?
Not only did that come in, but when I asked him in cross-examination, isn't it true that the first time that the name Migos comes out in this case was a month after the murder, in the first conversation that you yourself had with the cooperating co-defendant Allen? He didn't remember. I had to refresh his recollection, and right there in the transcribed conversation, it basically showed that Allen, the cooperator, said the name Migos in the first conversation that they had. So it basically showed that I wasn't making this up. Like, I'm not creating it. The facts were there before I even ever alleged their involvement or filed a motion in court.
The judge is stopping them from saying anything about a celebrity. Why is that? Why? Okay.
They're checking to see whether or not Drake is in South Florida. That was years before I mentioned it. And Allen is saying is talking about Migos to the lead detective a month after the murder. This is years before I filed anything regarding my theory of defense. So it was just to show that this is part of the case.
Right. And the argument is that your client didn't get a fair shake, didn't get a fair trial because you couldn't expand upon this and introduce this. I want to move quickly past Drake and ask you a couple different questions about this appeal. Speaking about Detective Curcio, I understand that there's also an objection that your team has with him providing opinion testimony on cell phone data. Can you talk about that real quick, what the issue was with Detective Curcio there?
Okay, well, the issue is that Broward County did not list a forensic expert, okay? And they tried to put forth expert testimony through someone by the name of Campvani and through Detective Curcio, and the court allowed them to give expert opinion as to locations of cell phones and things that are specifically left to experts, because when you list somebody as an expert, then that opens up the doors to discovery that we can take depositions of them and put us on notice to the specific details that they're going to testify to as an expert. That didn't happen in this case. And what they allowed was this individual named Campani. They allowed him to basically put forth expert testimony, and he put forth like a visual aid that he had prepared a week prior to his testimony. Okay, we were ambushed with it, and there he basically put little dots where he testified where the cell phones were exactly, and they allowed Detective Curcio to also give that type of testimony. Now, Detective Curcio is extremely experienced. I'm not going to take that away from him, and this individual Campani as well. But just because you're experienced doesn't take away the obligation of Broward County to do things correctly. This is a murder case and a high-profile one at that.
There's a number of different other points that are raised in this appeal. There's things like allowing prior bad acts to come into this trial, allowing an out-of-court statement from defendant Newsom, which you argue was his Williams defense attorneys are saying was prejudicial.
Hey, listen, y'all, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Y'all go check out the whole video uninterrupted. They are coming after Drake. Now, if you a Drake Glazer and you hold Drake up like he's some god or something like that, you better cut it out. It's time to cut it out. Yeah. This is wild. This is wild. I'm lost for words. I'm really lost for words. This is wild. So, as the story develops, we're going to follow this one, y'all. We're going to follow this one. Drake done barked up the wrong tree. He barked up the wrong tree with messing with UMG. You do not go against a program like that. He's saying that he's going to sue them all because Kendrick Lamar done tapped that ass. Kendrick Lamar done won again in a battle right now. You got to go through all of this. Now you got to go through all this stuff is just resurfacing. It's just going to resurface. It's just going to resurface. The embassy about to get raided too. It's just a matter of time. And you sped up your demise, Drake. You sped it up. This is some nasty, nasty work. Word he's buying, boy. This thumbnail that said, with Drake beside it, says, "I'll see you in court," referring to taking UMG to court. No. UMG said, "No, we'll see you in court." We're going to see you in court, but we ain't going to be there. We're going to be looking at we're going to be looking at it on TV. Drake said, "I'm going to take y'all to court." UMG said, we're going to see you in court. Wow. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this, man. Y'all get up in that comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. He's going down, y'all. Your savior Drake. Ain't that what y'all be saying about Dot? Yeah, your savior Drake is going down. Big Kish signing out. I'm gone, y'all.